Sophomores, shop teacher Chief here. A little talk late at night. Wanted to sort of take up my glasses for a moment, my mask. Talk to you folks about the next piece of equipment that you'll use for your projects, and that is the slip roller. Hence the word slip roller. It rolls round cylinders, such as like this right here. Allows the ability to figure out your diameter, figure out your circumference, do your stretch out, piece of sheet metal that is in the flat position before you roll it, and then the ability to roll it into a round cylinder, and hence the word slip it out. So in the industry calls it a slip roller. Most important piece of sheet metal equipment in a fabrication shop. They have power rollers, but this is a manual roller. And what I'd like to sort of demonstrate is doing radius and circumference type cylinders and rolling, which will be part of your projects, so you have the base knowledge of your work. So with that said, I'd like to turn your attention down to the slip roller itself. My safety glasses on, got my gloves. Anytime we're working with sheet metal, we're using these Kevlar gloves. Most important, the slip roller operates like we talked about earlier, hence the word slip roller. You roll your cylinder. When you're ready, open up your arm, pull your slip open, and slip it out. So hence the word slip roller is a critical term that we use. What I'd like to talk about before we get going is the three rollers, and what the two dimensions that you have, the two adjustments in the front, is for the thickness of the metal, and the rear roller is for the radius of the curve. So whenever you're here, you want to adjust the thickness of your metal on both sides, okay? Once you have that, you're able to roll it. Unfortunately, we have a machine that needs a little bit of adjustment. So I'm gonna come in, begin my radius. Once again, whenever, adjust your back roller, come up. Whenever you're trying to roll a radius, you need to do that in several tries. If you try to do it all at once, it's going to bind up on you. So once again, adjust the rear roller, come in and roll. And eventually we're gonna come into a 360-degree circle, a cylinder, if you will. Remember, sheet metal is flexible. Adjust, keep adjusting until you get your radius that you're trying to achieve, which we have right here. So at this point, I have it, and I can just open it up, and I've got my cylinder that I would like. We'd have a mark right here. We can either spot weld that, or we could put a sheet metal screw in that, or we could put a pop rivet in there. We will do all three of those operations while you're here with us. So I'd like to turn your attention to, this is called the sheet metal gauge. And what we do with this gauge is we measure the thickness and the gauge of sheet metal. Once again, the higher the number, the thinner the metal. The lower the number, the thicker the metal. So this particular slip roller is meant for 26 gauge and 24 gauge. So if I come over here with my gauge, I just look at the numbers on the gauge, and they fit into the side of the metal, and I've got 26 gauge. So 26 gauge is certainly appropriate for this slip roller. I come over here. Sometimes if I have a piece of stainless, we talked about different types of materials. This particular material thickness right here is 14 gauge, 15 gauge. This is too thick for this slip roller. So we'll stay away from thick metal on slip roller here that we have in the shop. We want to stay with thin sheet metal, 26 gauge, 24 gauge. So once again, the first two rollers that you see facing you, those are for the thickness of the metal. So you adjust the thickness of your metal, 26 gauge we have here, obviously. So you take that adjustment. Once you have that in the back, that back roller allows you to give the radius, as we talked about earlier in the previous demonstration. And don't try to force it. Let it go several attempts while you go through. It's an easy process. We're not there yet. As you can see, that cylinder needs to have additional rolling. We come in again, slight adjustment. Come in one more time, rolling. Come in one more time. And rolling. Sheet metal is flexible, it's adjustable, it's pliable. Light gauge, heavy gauge is not pliable. You can overlap that with your 3/8 or 1/2 inch, spot weld that, pop rivet that, or put a sheet metal screw in there. So sophomores, I hope this gives you a better insight to making cylinders and using a slip roller, a critical piece of equipment that we have here in the shop, something to use constantly in sheet metal shops, constantly in fabrication shops. So once again, I ask you to be safe at all times. Watch out for pinch points. Keep your Kevlar gloves on at all times. Safety glasses, obviously. We'd have our mask on, but I'm demonstrating without a mask here because it's late at night. No one is here. So once again, just to reiterate, say again, the piece of equipment that we're looking at is a slip roller. A slip roller is used to make radiuses and circumferences, complete cylinders like you see here in my hand. Slip rollers are meant for 26 gauge, light gauge sheet metal, not thick metal. And a slip roller enables you to figure out your 3.14 times your diameter, which is your stretch out, which would be your piece of metal before it's bent. You need to get that math and that measurement accurate. And then once you roll that, it will give you your diameter. Okay, sophomores, your shop teacher, chief, saying good night to you. We'll continue these series of sheet metal talks. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow on the deck plate. Okay, sophomores.